obviously mock draft season's over. I'm sure everyone's really happy to stop seeing these mock drafts being shared all the time on Twitter and any social media. But pretty much every Pro Football Focus, everyone had the Chiefs having one of the best drafts. Either top 4. I've seen A+, and I've seen some like algorithms that showed it took all the different websites, and we were pretty much in between a B+ and an A from every outlet out there. And that was great to see. And obviously, you know, PFF, they do a lot of their analytics and algorithms to have these guys, and we were getting guys in like their top 100 to the 4th round. So pretty good on Veach. So question, so JD, of all the guys we drafted, what did you like about our draft? Any players specifically? And is there anything that you would have done a little bit differently than what Brett Veach did last week?
Yeah, so I'll start off with this. I loved our draft. I think we got an A, no doubt about it, in our draft. One of our strategies going in was we wanted to get tougher and better on defense, right? We wanted to address some of the holes and the issues that we had on defense. And I think we did that. I think, you know, Veach went in, Andy and those guys went in and had a clear understanding about what it is that they wanted to do. And so we addressed the secondary because we definitely needed secondary help. We knew Honey Badger was going to be able to go, you know, hats off to him going to New Orleans, you know, and so much success to him in the rest of his career, what he's doing. But we knew getting Justyn, what's the name of the end? Justyn Reed, getting Justyn Reed in was like one of those steps. And so what we did, we bolstered, like you said, the secondary, getting McDuffie in. I mean, look, you got a great guy, this great corner, one of the surest tacklers in the guys in that secondary that you had as corners. And so I think that was a great move going to get McDuffie. And I tell you, you know, in my mock, what I was thinking was, DB. Kiara Elam. And so he went next, you know, so we knew we had to address that. And Jared Page was talking about that last week. Like, look, there's things that you have to do to support the guys on the offensive side. And so we did that. And then we got Karlaftis, man, the Greek freak, everybody that look, the Greek freak too, you know, hey, whatever you want to call the guy, right? We say he's going to have to go ahead and get into a name sometime soon. But hey, man, look, this guy right here, high motor guy, you know he's going to be relentless. You know he's going to get after guys. He's not going to stop. And that's what you need. You need that on the defensive line. And so we addressed that as far as defensive end / edge guy. And then also, too, what we ended up doing when we got Skyy Moore, which was a great pick. I think Skyy Moore is one of those guys who is, you know, 5'10", about 195, I think. But he's a guy that can play inside the slot. He can play outside. That's a good thing about it. His versatility. And so he's got pretty decent speed, but he's got great hands. He's got great range. He kind of runs like a running back. That's what he does when he catches the football. And so he's going to get a lot of yak yards, and he's going to get a lot of opportunities during this year in playing. And so hats off to getting him. Going in, and we'll talk about my man that I thought, and I kept going. I said, I could not get past this guy. And I'm thinking, hey, maybe, you know what? Maybe the Chiefs was looking at some of the stuff that we was doing on Chiefs concerns. Like, you know what? Hey, JD just played the game before. He's been a tight end. He knows the Karlaftis. He knows the defensive ends to go get, right? Now he's talking about Cook, a safety, who's a hard-hitting safety, a big safety, who understands, you know, spacing, you know, areas where it needs to be. He just seems to be a football player, needs to be around the ball all the time. And that was like one of my top picks. And I'm glad when I got him, man. I was really high on this guy. I liked him a lot. And thank God he's a Chief. And then we just been talking about like other guys that we got. We got Kinnard, you know, in the 5th round, which was without a doubt a steal. So we're talking about one of the best linemen in SEC. Okay. So all the guys that went in the draft that, you know, he went against from Alabama and Georgia, look, Kinnard was there and he played well against them, right? Did tremendous things at Kentucky. Like I said, one of the greatest linemen in SEC this past year. We get him in the 5th round. So hats off to that, man, beaching him, getting a guy that we definitely surely needed, who without a doubt, in my estimation, will probably start at right tackle. I know they was talking about going to the guard. Look, Trey Smith we know Trey Smith is where he's supposed to be, okay? Right now, right tackle is a need. And I think this guy right here comes in. I think, shorts down a little bit, maybe he's cut a little bit weight, right? Get his body acclimated to the NFL, getting against these guys. He's going to get some good, solid work against these guys that we just drafted. Plus, not to mention the guys we just got here. We have already, and so he's going to fit in well for us. I'm trying to think who else we had to think. I had the whole list for us.
Chanel, the linebacker from Wisconsin.
Chanel. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, I was looking for us to get a linebacker. I really was. And the thing was, when I was kind of going through my mock, it was two guys that kept jumping out to me. And I'm glad we got a physical guy that was athletic. I mean, he's off the charts with his athletic ability. It was him and it was Muma. And it was two guys I was looking at. I was just like, man, those guys, if you get a chance to get these guys, you almost got to take them. And so I'm glad we got him, man. He's going to be a great pick for us. And a lot of this, man, we got to understand when you get guys, you're thinking about them absolutely starting where they fit into your defense, but also too, some of the guys I just mentioned. Also, it's about special teams. That's how you make the teams and how you make the roster. You got to fit about the special teams, like guys that we'll talk about a little bit later. That some of these corners we got also too later on in the draft. Are they going to be willing to play special teams? Are they going to be great tacklers? And you got to make sure that it's part of one of the things that you're thinking about in your strategy and picking these guys, how big they're going to be on special teams. And Chanel, like I said, man, he's going to come in and he's going to play a lot. He's going to be a guy on special teams. He's going to be making a lot of tackles. He might get a couple blocks here and there, man, on punts. I think I seen him. I think I highlighted him blocking a punt. So, man, he's got the athletic ability to do all of that. So he's going to be a great chief man for us, without a doubt. So those guys, it's a few guys I just named. And like you said, who's your favorite guy on here? Man, I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite guy. This draft to me was it was lights out, no doubt about it. Now, what I will say is this. If I did something different, here's what some of my difference would be. I thought we would address maybe the edge more than what we did, defensive end, like a specialized pass rusher that I was kind of looking for, like later on down the road in the draft. Like we could have gotten him probably maybe the 5th or 6th round, possibly, getting a guy. We didn't. And so I was like, it kind of was a head scratcher. But look, the secondary is, man, we on point with all of that. And I like the guys that we have in the room. I was just thinking like for some younger, hungry guys that's going to get after it. But also too, man, you got to see what they're going to be able to do. I mean, once you get into the OTAs, get into the training camps, you're going to see what guys, hey, look, you know what? There's still guys out here that are free agents that we can still sign. So that's not something that is, out the window that we still not able to address. Let me put it that way. So I think they're kind of waiting on that. I know they said JPP and all these guys are still out this way. So, hey, guess what? Clowney, these dudes, will they work in this system? Hey, probably. We'll just have to see. We'll see where that's going to go. So that might have been different. I would have maybe looked for another edge guy. And another guy I was looking for was kind of wide receiver. I think another wide receiver, just for the simple fact, okay, and this is just forward thinking. If there's a possibility that, Juju's on a 1-year deal, Hartman's here, and they decide to leave or something doesn't work out, then we have MVS, Skyy, and then all the other guys that we're still trying to find out and figure out how they fit into the offense. If you get a guy here that you're saying, look, we're going to go ahead and put a young guy in, and the dudes I was looking at, I'm going to tell you 2 names. We didn't get them, so it was Khalil Shakur, okay, and it was Dobbs, right? I think it was Nevada, right? Yeah. So, yeah. So they was 2 guys. I was like, yo, we get those 2 guys. Like I'd have been all right at that because they had a lot of talent to them, a lot of athleticism, could do some things out with the football. But we didn't get that guy. But that's all right. But I like what's in the room. Matter of fact, when I'm looking in the room right now, that room's really crowded. I'm starting to look really crowded. But we did address that guy. Hold on. I'm going to say this. Now, just now pop in my head. We got a young guy here that everybody wasn't talking about in Justyn Ross. And so I'm going to say this, man. Look, I remember the guy at Clemson, national championship game and stuff like he was doing then, right? And he was almost like a forgotten name because people weren't really talking about him. And I seen that we got him like, we got Justyn Ross here. I completely forgot about this guy. Completely forgot about him. But obviously everybody kind of backed away because of the medical, right? Kind of talked about those things. But I think he's a guy that we can utilize if everything works out well, which I think it will. I mean, Clemson, hey, he came back to play for them. Chiefs cleared him on his medical. So I think he's going to be fine. So he's a sneaky guy that we got it. So I apologize for that. I forgot Justyn Ross. See, I forgot about him again. Here he is. He's on a roster. So that's where I'm at, man. That's how I feel about the whole thing.
Yeah, I thought based on the mocks that we did, mock draft that we had on the show, and then what Jared said last week on the show, if you're going to draft a cornerback, you draft the top three. He had Stingley, Sauce Gardner, and then McDuffie. We got McDuffie. And we'll get to it later, but we talked about we were texting. It seems like that we have a specific type of cornerback build. Obviously McDuffie's 5'11", a little shorter than the other guys that we drafted later on the draft, 6'2", 200 type cornerbacks, Jaylen Watson and Joshua Williams. And then we ended up getting Lonnie Johnson Jr., which we'll talk about at the end of the show. And then, Shenault, athletic linebacker. I mean, our linebackers between the three that we have, Willie Gay, Bolton, and Shenault, I mean, it's gonna be fun to watch those three. I mean, that's an athletic three, which, Neiman, I know a lot of fans weren't the biggest fans of Neiman, but, let's just say it's not an insult to say these guys, all three of these guys are more athletic than Neiman. And, maybe Neiman had more of a game IQ, but these guys are athletic guys. You teach them, X's and O's of what the schemes are. I think we're going to be set at linebacker for a long time. I agree with what your assessment. I love the draft. I love what we did. It was like we went the needs. We checked all the needs that we went through. We didn't get two receivers. We didn't get two edge rushers, but we checked all the needs and then we went BPA after that. I love texting you after we got Kinnard, and I was like, wait, Mel Kiper's saying he's a guard. He's a tackle. It's like he's going to move to guard, and you're like, no, he's not moving to guard. He's a tackle. And then they showed Brett Veach talking to him when they drafted him, saying, we can't wait to have you compete at right tackle. So okay, there you go. He's right tackle.
Yeah, right. That's so. I don't know. Maybe they didn't quite know what the need was with the Chiefs. I don't know, but yeah, I didn't ever seen guard because we're good there with Trey, and then Kinnard without a doubt could be a right tackle because that's a need. That's a guy that we need right now. Niang, we don't quite know how he's going to do coming back off his thing, and so having depth right there with Kinnard, I mean, it just makes you feel good just knowing you have that.
Plus, Andy Reid's offenses, I mean, lines in general, all those guys play guard, tackle. They're going to have to play all around, versatile. And so if that is going to happen with Kinnard, then sure.
Right. Interchangeable guys, man, no doubt about it. So he's getting guys that are football players, like you said, that could go and plug and play in any position and do well at it, right? So yeah, so good strategy on their part for that.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.